Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, everyone. It's a Thursday. Pretty snowy. It kind of snowed, I guess, over the weekend in New York. I'm kind of in like a park area, around the area where I kind of record in my neighborhood. Um, Funny thing is, this neighborhood that I walk in, I live around here, but I live close to work. One of the women who were the people who I worked with, who were one of the bad faith actors that contributed to me getting suspended from my previous position. This dumbass bitch, bad faith, disgusting, backstabbing bitch who even backstabs her own colleagues. Unironically, she walks around here, like she walks the trail, and she walks like around the track, I guess, for like her lunch workout. And every time she sees me, she like does a pep in her step. Like she like walks faster and shit. Like thinking I won't hurt her or some shit. I don't know, but it's real funny because I know she's a fucking bad fit piece of shit, and I know exactly what she did, and she knows what she did, and many of the people she works for just knows what they did. But you know, it's not my problem. I don't work there anymore. Pertaining to work's good, you know, still learning more. It's very good. I'm being more helpful to my team, you know, all this is a great thing. So no problem with that. This video, I wanted to make a video and follow up to my video that I posted yesterday about what has BLM done. I wanted to make sure that I have some more precision by bringing more videos, because I know that when it comes to people taking in information, especially when it comes to like YouTube, that people will make a lot of assumptions, and they will believe that I'm like in some infiltrator, or they believe that one person's position isn't theirs, or that because of the frameworks of our arguments, they're under the impression that you're not on their side. And this happens a lot with YouTube videos. You can see the comment section where people have different interpretations of the videos. And I think it's very clear for, if you're a creator or someone, to just have a consistent message, because especially if it comes to like just some social justice and shit, I think I'm going to be doing some campaigning and some canvassing for whoever is going to be going against Cuomo and has a chance of actually winning, because I've had problems with him recently. But just in general, it's very important to, you know, have some precision, have accuracy with your positions, and making sure that, you know, you lead to some effective change by being more clear about your positions and emphasizing, you know, and if there are some ideas that need more explanation, you kind of expand on that. So whatever. This video is going to be on the police. So the police are supposed to be public servants, right? These are people who, they are reflective of the community that they serve. It is a reflection of that. So many of the actions so the police are usually to fight crime or enforce the law, right? So the idea is, if you live in a community and there are people committing crime, then of course it's done. The problem with the police force in the United States, or in many places, is that the state, the enforcers, and you can check my other videos regarding those, the people who use their force, again, if there's no precision, you don't know what they're selecting for. And unfortunately, when it comes to the police for low-income minorities, they do not feel that the actions that the police are engaged in are in the best interests of them. Your taxes go to them, or your taxes go to them, it's not in their best interest, and it ends up being in the best interests of other people who are not around you. So you may be supported by this police force, or you may be paying for the police, but the police have police who are coming from other communities who don't even like black people, and they're coming in and fucking your shit up. Obviously your taxes support that, but the people who are supposed to be protecting and serving, now they're quote-unquote protecting and serving not for the same reasons that you would have as a minority. They're protecting and serving for some really bad, for some malicious reasons. The reason why I wanted to say this is that I want to you know, bring just note that it's understandable that as a person who's a minority, you have a problem with the police. There has been some data about there have been tons of evidence of racially charged beliefs, even to an extent things like stop and frisk in New York and other policies throughout the United States, throughout history, that have been evidence of the police not working in favor of the general public, which is fighting crime, so on and so forth. And it's led many black people to believe that the police force is just not for them at all, and there's no use for it. And many white people and all that shit, and you saw these parts of BLM who were those people, right? And it was like no cops at all. It's like, damn, then if somebody breaks into your house, then who you gonna call? No response, right? So you saw instances of that, but the reality is that even before police were used in this way, again, it's an enforcer of the state. So if you don't know what the precision is of your police department or just law enforcement, or what they're trying to select for, which is not criminals who are black instead of just criminals in general, you're going to see things where you see Black Lives Matter police who don't like brown people. They're just putting their knees in their necks and killing them, or shooting people when they were half asleep and they were getting ready and to you know, see what the fuck was going on. R.I.P. Breonna Taylor. You know, what you end up seeing is, like, you have this line of thinking from the police stating why they're doing these things because of some of their racially and or socially conservative beliefs in the system that they're in, which is white supremacy. They're responding based off of these stereotypes, but unironically, the system that they live in, which is white supremacy, that is responsible for causing the poverty and all of these negative things that they use to draw a negative light of minorities that they feel are going to justify their beliefs. They're playing into, like, the entire system that started it. So it's kind of like a negative perpetuity loop, because if they don't get it, if they're not informed, and people on the other side aren't informed, and they don't realize that they're pointing fingers at each other as opposed to paying attention to the system in general that's responsible for all this miscommunication, us fighting each other and not having common ground with certain positions that can lead us forward into more precise, accurate actions that improve the well-being of everyone around us. What you end up seeing over and over and over again are, hey, fuck police, fuck Black Lives Matter, fuck, you know, fuck the black people, fuck the white people, fuck you if you're a black police officer, fuck you. It's like, you know, there's no precision here. Are there people who are part of the police force who want to improve the well-being of everyone? Yes. Are there people who are black who are police officers who are not racist? Yes. Are there police who are blacks, Hispanics, all that, who are racist? Yes. And unfortunately, due to so much misinformation, people are just under the impression that it's all bad. You know, so there has to be a lot that has to be discussed, you know, the moral and ethical dilemma of you being a person who's a part of the system, but you're not doing the harm, as opposed to allowing it. But to an extent, allowing the harm is being complicit in doing the harm. You know, the trolley problem, modern day trolley problem. Other systems where, you know, white supremacy has corroded, you know, the workplace, you're not responding to racism, all of these things. I think with the police force, when it comes to a discussion about what the black community can do to improve their well-being, which includes some sort of people to protect them, there has to be a conversation regarding the truths, the realities of many of these things, the realities of what's going on, right? You know, are there instances of racism? Yes. Is it systemic? You know, that's a big discussion, because systemic means like every single police officer is bad and no, you know, BLM, no good cops in a racist system, you know, these dumbass points. But these are things that you have to break apart. So, you know, my video was to just speak about, you know, it's understandable the fact that there are negative instances in the past that are obvious why people have so many problems with police. You know, police beat their wives. There are percentage of police officers who don't even report to their employer that their colleague is beating their wives, that they're domestic abusers. I know there was that stat about 30% of police officers beat their wives, but I thought the last study that I read about that, there was more research that had to be done. But the more accurate number they had is this, that like a 30% or 40% of police officers know that their colleagues are committing abuse, perpetrators of domestic violence and of domestic abuse, and they don't report it. So an instance like that, how many times have I heard people say, oh, they beat their wives? Well, no, what study are you talking about? Because that was just like a meme that was thrown out that wasn't really necessarily fact checked. Like, where is that, you know? And if you don't start paying attention to these little points that you think that are bad faith, that you think are going to help you, I think they're actually more counterproductive than helpful. I think it's very important to know the reality. It's very important to have it's very important to have a very clear argument instead of putting it this way, because what happens is you lay yourself open to people poking holes in your argument. Not only that, but when it comes to some of these actions being done and you trying to justify it in the past, it's like, damn, this is kind of contradictory or something. So, you know, the police are responsible for a lot. You know, they harass you many times. You know, unfortunately, people respond in ways that are therapeutic to them. Police officers have a tendency to push, and then when you respond, where it may be therapeutic for you to respond in a certain way depending on cultural relativism. So when you a nigga and you around police and they pushing and they up in your face and you like push like instinctively because that's how you raised, then they throw you on the ground. These are things police do. And now that's some shit about you, a police officer feeling threatened, you know? There are tons of instances, and I can go on and on. But there has to be some precision for us to understand the use of the police and then misuse of the police, and some policies that we can focus on that contribute to taking out the bad parts of the police force or just the criminal justice system. You know, like, comment, subscribe. I guess you can look up some policies from Bernie that he had in mind. You know, I know there was that.